What's up, guys? Just a little recap here. We're just going to talk a little bit about bowling. We went to Angola, Indiana, Minster, Ohio, and Coldwater, Ohio for a couple of regional events. And Angola was a disaster. I did all the wrong things. You already heard me talk about all that. So we'll kind of skip forward to Minster, where I got better. I did a lot of the right things, and then just kind of fell apart at the end. Did the wrong things then, made some wrong ball choices. Ended up making the first couple of cuts and then falling out. Then in Coldwater, man, I really thought I had the berries. I thought I had what I needed to win that weekend. I started in qualifying with an IQ Tour and a raw hammer, and we used a low grit sandpaper on them. And the reason I did this is because I was trying to play straight. I wanted to play, it was a 42 foot pattern, I believe it was, 42 or 44. I don't know, but it had quite a bit of volume, it seemed. And I wanted to play straight because I wanted to keep my angles in front of me. And I actually found in practice good ball reaction with the IQ Tour when I hit it with about a 400 grit pad and 400 grit sandpaper. And just the way we sanded it made it to where it would hook early and kind of stop. So my angle through the front, if I got it going to the right a little bit towards all the hang, it would stand up quick and get bail. It would use its energy up and still hit the pocket. Didn't always carry, but it kept me out of trouble. The key here was to stay out of trouble because the scores were going to be low. You really didn't need a ton of score. You just had to keep yourself in play. My idea was to just do that, try to grind a couple of 2-teens, maybe some 2-0s, 190s on bad pairs, and call it good. Make the cut pretty easily. The cut scores are always, it always is typically really low, right around even, or even sometimes negative. The one year it was like 130 under on both. It was bad. But we grinded up, so we had a good look in practice doing this. So we took a raw hammer as well, a black raw, and we went even lower with that to try to have something that would, on the tight pairs, when the IQ Tour was kind of coming around the head pin a little bit, I could go to the raw, smooth the lanes out, or even on the hooking pairs, I could get the raw to just blend and slow down in the right spots. So it worked out pretty good with that. And I went out and the day of the tournament, and it was good. Used the IQ Tour most of the day, play right around 6, 7, 8 up the lane, and I could kind of trap it up the lane, and it never really overreacted. The funny thing is with the ball reaction I had, where the ball really wasn't driving through the pins very well, I still 4-9'd, I think, 6 times in those 8 games that first day, and I only made one of them. And then the next day I 4-9'd another 2 times. So it was kind of crazy how many 4-9s I left in the amount of games that I bowled. But ball reaction wise, I made the good choice there. The second day was what was weird. So I bowled 100 over in qualifying, which was second high in the block. I think 111 over led our block. After qualifying, I was 8th or something like that. After all 3 squads were done, I was 8th, and they cut to the top 32. We came back the next morning to bowl 4 more games, and they cut to the top 16. I was in that number by 30 pins already. Well, I got out there, and I noticed right away that the lanes were tighter, which is to be expected. You expect them to be a little tighter, but this wasn't a little tighter. This was a lot of tighter. Like, even 400, I even took one down to 360. I couldn't get it to read the front part of the lane properly to give me that same type of ball reaction. So I was kind of panicked at this point. Like, man, what am I going to do? I got to grind this out. I need to bowl even these 4 games probably to make the top 16. And then hopefully I can kind of get a little bit better ball reaction once the lanes break down a little bit. But I bowled 170 the first game, and then I bowled 150 or 140 the second game. At that point, I dropped to 20 over, and I was 50 pins out of the number, and I was fried out. I was so irritated that I couldn't get my ball to do anything close to what I had it doing the 2 previous days. And I don't know. Even looking back, I'm like, I don't even know what I could have done differently. Like, I don't even know. My only choice would have been to move left with everybody else, but at this point, man, like, I don't know. I had a game plan. I probably should have bailed on the game plan, but the number ended up dropping to like 66 over. So honestly, I only needed 40 under for those 4 games, and I couldn't even muster that up. I mean, I was so fried, so mentally out of it, and my ball reaction was poop compared to the day before. I could have probably did a little bit better than I did, but you know, again, I'm stuck in the win mindset. I want to win, and I had the ball reaction to win the previous 2 days, and I just didn't have it that third day, unfortunately. And that's the way it goes. You know, I mean, sometimes you just got to be better than that. You've got to figure it out. You've got to try to compromise or improvise with what you've got. I probably could have grabbed some stronger bowling balls and beat them up when I saw that, but I thought I could get away with the weak bowling balls through there still. I probably should have taken like my Stealth or even the Paragon Hybrid and touched the surface, made those ones hook early, so that way I could do the same thing there with a stronger ball in that area, possibly. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I would have had to have tried it. That's my only guess. That probably would have, gave me a chance. But 'tis what it is, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But came back today and did some reviews. I did the Paragon Hybrid. I did that review. I did the Forge Ember. That one's up now on the Bowler X channel. And I did the Melee Jab, the Carbon. I did that. That ball is special. I couldn't believe what I saw out of that today. And then I also did the Dark Web full review. So the Dark Web and the, what's the other one? The Dark Web and the Paragon will come out tomorrow. We'll have those post tomorrow. The other 2 were posted today, so go watch those on the Bowler X channel if you haven't already. But that's kind of all I got for you. I really wanted to just give you a recap and let you know how much I failed. Although I succeeded, but at the same time failed. I look at it as a succeed, still made money. And the funny story about the whole thing is I blew out my converter in the camper on day 1 in Angola, and I had to spend $400 on a new converter for the camper, so that way I had power. I had to have it overnighted, so it cost me a pretty penny. But I got it done. We got power again, and then a couple days later, once we were in it, I actually left the gas on in the camper. Luckily, we didn't blow the whole thing up. I don't think I left the gas on. I'm pretty sure my kid turned it back on accidentally or ran into it or just was messing with it, because it smelled like gas really bad in the camper. And I looked, and the gas was still on. If I would have left it on, that would have meant the flame was still going, because I had to turn it off to get the flame to stop. So it was definitely turned back on at some point. But either way, it's no big deal. It was aired out. It was all good. We just, things happen, So $400 there, and then it was like $300 to stay in a hotel for those 3 days where we didn't have power. So that took away the profit from the week, but that's okay. No big deal. We got a $1,000 check for cold water, $800 in Minster. Didn't make any money in Angola. Only had about $700 in entry fees, so not too bad at all. So I can't be mad. That's not my living. I don't depend on bowling good to pay bills, so that's good. But that's just kind of, camera's falling. That's just the way it goes. So anyway, I'm out of here. I'll chat with you guys a little bit later. Be on the lookout for some of those other ball reviews that are coming, and we will see you guys later.